The argument for and against the Millennium Challenge Corporation under the U.S. financial assistance worth around 55 billion rupees has intensified lately, even as Ministry of Foreign Affairs maintained that the MCC had nothing to do with the U.S. Indo-Pacific Strategy. The U.S. government itself strongly announced that the MCC is part of the strategy. Good morning, this is Bipashna Tamang and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli defends the government's decision to lease out land at Gokarna, says the offer was lucrative, vows to eliminate irregularities at other places. Dispute intensifies within Nepal Congress following announcement of the date of the party's 14th General Convention. The United Nations General Assembly approves a resolution strongly condemning rights abuses against Rohingya Muslims and other minority groups in Myanmar. And Chitwan Rhinos clinch the Pokhara Premier League title, defeats Biratnagar Titans by 32 runs in the final to walk away with 2.7 million rupees. Let's begin with the national political updates. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has defended the decision to lease the Gokarna land to Yeti Group for 25 years. At a press conference of Press Union Nepal, a sister organization affiliated with the ruling Nepal Communist Party, organized at his official residence in Baluwatar, the Premier claimed that the lease contract was as per the existing rules and regulations. The Prime Minister added that the offer of Yeti Group was lucrative, thus any further inquiries into the topic was unnecessary. Meanwhile, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has pledged that the government would hold investigation on the alleged irregularities during the leasing of the lands and properties owned by Nepal Trust. Likewise, Prime Minister Oli also expressed discontent, citing that some elements have been trying to tarnish the reputation of the current government by linking its activities with the lapses made by previous governments. The deliberation is underway at the political level over the issue of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, under the U.S. financial assistance worth around 55 billion rupees. The intra-party discussions within the ruling Nepal Communist Party too is underway in this regard. The ruling party has sought clarification regarding the MCC agreement with the U.S. government following instant discussion among the party members and other intra-party forums, including the standing committee meeting. The stakeholders are focused on their queries, including whether the assistance comes under U.S. tactical and military strategy or if the preconditions regarding the assistance are in line with Nepal's national interests. The stakeholders are currently seeking reasons for endorsing the assistance from the parliament. They are also doubtful if the parliamentary endorsement would set a wrong precedent. Experts are of the view that such a level of discussion have never been held in the country, and the trend would help enhance the effectiveness of foreign assistance in the country's development.
MCC ले एउटा बहस ल्यायो यो कस्तो खालको परियोजना हो हैन यो कस्तो रणनीति भित्र पर्छ या चाहिँ नेपाललाई फाइदा गर्छ कि गर्दैन यसले भन्ने बहसलाई यसले सकारात्मक रूपमा लिनुपर्छ र यस्ता बहसहरूले मात्रै धेरै कुराहरू स्पष्टता हुँदै जान्छ र त्यसले के गर्छ त भन्दा राजनीतिक तहमा सरकारी तहमा र जनप्रतिनिधिको तहमा पनि यसले चाहिँ र स्वयं दाताको तहमा यसले जवाफदेहिता यसको चाहिँ प्रभावकारिता र यसको पारदर्शिता यी तीनटै कुराहरूलाई चाहिँ बढाउँछ.
In many cases, due to bureaucracy, most of the development projects become non-transparent and impractical in the long run. However, thorough deliberation as such would help incorporate donors and beneficiaries among all stakeholders in the process. Former bureaucrats have opined that such discussions would be carried out by keeping the country's sovereignty in the center.
अथवा समूह विशेषको चाहिँ विरुद्धमा अब प्रयोग हुने खालको कुनै सैन्य गठबन्धनमा सामेल हुने किसिमले चाहिँ त्यो छाताभित्र सुरक्षा अथवा सैन्य छाताभित्र चाहिँ हामी प्रवेश गर्ने कुरै आउँदैन। यदि चाहिने यो मिलिटरी कोअपरेसन होइन भन्ने कुरामा सरकार प्रष्ट हुन सक्यो भने उनीहरूसँग पत्राचार गरेर बैठक गरेर वार्ता गरेर हैन प्रष्ट हुन सक्यो भने चाहिने साह्रै डराउनु पर्ने कुरा केही छैन यो इन्डो पेसिफिक स्ट्र्याटेजीसँग।
The US government has refuted the statement released by the government of Nepal regarding the issues relating Millennium Corporation Challenge, MCC and Indo-Pacific Strategy put forth by the United States. The US government has reiterated that the MCC is the integral part of the Indo-Pacific Strategy at a time when the government of Nepal was claiming that these are two separate bodies. This has inflamed discussion over the role of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and concerned department. The government had signed the MCC agreement with the US government just over 2 years ago. The leaders of the ruling Nepal Communist Party (NCP) criticized the MCC agreement worth 55 billion rupees in the Standing Committee meeting. Foreign Minister Pradeep Yawali expressed his disapproval in written after few leaders claimed that the MCC agreement is the part of the Indo-Pacific Strategy. He reiterated similar kind of statements in many public forums, including parliamentary committee. At the same time, the US government has emphasized that MCC agreement is part of the Indo-Pacific Strategy. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the concerned departments under the ministry could not come up with the logics in the US government claims. Some experts have opined that the bureaucracy misguided the minister and the minister himself showed his immaturity. It may be recalled that the bureaucracy of the ministry has frequently dragged the political leadership and national stints on various sensitive issues into controversy a number of times. And we have more news coming up, but right now it's time for a short break. Welcome back. The anti-leadership faction of the main opposition Nepali Congress was boycotting the party's Central Committee meetings, demanding timetable for the 14th General Convention. The faction, however, has turned more enraged following announcement of the General Convention's date. The disgruntled faction has alleged the leadership of announcing the date without consulting them. Party President Sher Bahadur Deuba had tried to convince the disgruntled faction comprising senior leader Ramchandra Paudel and former General Secretary Krishna Prasad Sitaula due to the allegations that the leadership had remained indifferent towards holding the 14th General Convention. However, the anti-leadership faction held as usual separate meeting a day after the announcement of the General Convention date. The meeting decided to reject the schedule for the General Convention and the leadership's decision to form 43 different party departments. The disgruntled faction has also decided to pressure the leadership to amend its decision. Time now for the international update. The United Nations General Assembly has approved a resolution strongly condemning rights abuses against Rohingya Muslims and other minority groups in Myanmar, including arbitrary arrest, torture, rape and deaths in detention. In a 134-9 vote with 28 abstentions on Friday, the body approved the resolution, which also calls on Myanmar's government to take urgent measures to combat incitement of hatred against the Rohingya and other minorities in the states of Rakhine, Kachin and Shan. General Assembly resolutions are not legally binding, but they often reflect world opinion. Myanmar, where most citizens are Buddhist, has long considered the Rohingya to be Bengalis from Bangladesh, even though their family have lived in the country for generations. Nearly all Rohingya have been denied citizenship since 1982, effectively rendering the group stateless, and they also They are also denied freedom of movement and other basic rights. The Rohingya crisis exploded in August 2017 when Myanmar's military launched what it called a clearance campaign in Rakhine state in response to an attack by a Rohingya insurgent group. The campaign led to an exodus of Rohingya to Bangladesh and other South Asian nations, and to accusations that security forces had committed mass rapes and killings and burned thousands of homes. And we have more news coming up, but right now it's time for yet another short break. The second edition of Pokhara Premier League concluded yesterday, and in this context, we had asked the players and trainers of the league what's their take on this edition of the tournament. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
एकदम राम्रो रह्यो हैन पहिलाको यो भन्दा पहिलाको साल भन्दा पनि विराटनगर टाइटनको हिसाबले पनि धेरै राम्रो रह्यो हैन र म्यानेजमेन्ट वाइज पनि एकदम राम्रो छ पहिला भन्दा एकदम पिचहरु पनि हैन ग्राउन्डहरु पनि एकदम राम्रो छ हैन अब टिम वाइज पनि हामीले यो भन्दा पहिलाको सिजनमा धेरै राम्रो गर्न सकेका थिएनौं तर यो पाली हामीले फाइनलमा पुग्यौ
म्यानेजमेन्टको हिसाबले पनि धेरै राम्रो पहिला भन्दा धेरै राम्रो म्यानेजमेन्ट पनि छ अब जे होस् पहिला भन्दा धेरै सुधार पनि भएको छ टुर्नामेन्टमा हैन र अब त्यसमा प्लस अब एकजना फरेन प्लेयर पनि थपिएको थियो त्यसले गर्दा चाहिँ टुर्नामेन्ट धेरै राम्रो भयो
हाम्रो टिममा त नेपाली खेलाडीहरुको पनि परफर्मेन्स राम्रो भयो इभन पारस दाइ आरिफहरुले करण दाइहरुले राम्रो गर्नुभयो भुवन दाइले पनि राम्रो गर्नुभयो अनि ओभरअल हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ टुर्नामेन्ट अब इन्डिभिजुअल नभनौं एज अ होल टिमको लागि चाहिँ राम्रो भयो एकदम राम्रो
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What is the reason behind less Nepalese workers being selected in Japanese employment selection process? Your options are option A, lack of skilled manpower, option B, defects in selection process, and option C, impairments in language learning. The voting for the question is on. Type NEWS, select your options A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Chitwan Rhinos clinched the title of Pokhara Premier League with a comfortable 32 runs victory over Biratnagar Titans in the final played yesterday. Sent to bat first after losing the toss, Chitwan amassed 202 runs, losing 5 wickets. Skipper Paras Khadka fell for 25 runs while Babar Hayat could only score 6 runs. From 45 for 2, Rohan Mustafa struck a 95 runs partnership with Anil Shah. Both Mustafa and Anil scored 50 runs each. Some late hitting by Karan Casey and Sunny Patel ensured that Chitwan crossed the 200 mark. In reply, Biratnagar made 170 runs, losing 7 wickets with a half-century by Mohammad Zaid Alam. Skipper Pradeep Aire chipped in with 36 runs, but the contributions were not enough to overhaul Chitwan total. The winner, Chitwan, received the cash prize of 2.7 million rupees, while runners-up Biratnagar took home 1 million rupees. And it's time now for our special segment Around the World.
Five people were sentenced to death and 3 others jailed over last year's murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The order was delivered by a court in Saudi Arabia. Khashoggi, a prominent critic of the Saudi government, was killed inside the Saudi consulate in the Turkish city of Istanbul by a team of Saudi agents. The Saudi public prosecutor said it was a result of a rogue operation and put 11 unnamed individuals on trial. A UN expert has concluded that it was an extrajudicial execution. A passenger jet crashed in Kazakhstan, killing at least 15 people. The Bek airplane flying from Almaty, Kazakhstan's largest city, to the capital Nur Sultan smashed into a building just after takeoff. The Fokker aircraft had 100 passengers and crew on board. At least 26 people died after a powerful typhoon hit the central Philippines on Christmas Day. Tens of thousands of people were left stranded in ports as they tried to make their way home for Christmas. Phanphone struck close to regions devastated by Typhoon Haiyan in 2013. More than 6,000 people were killed in November that year, making it the Philippines' deadliest storm. An armed attack in the northern Burkina Faso on Tuesday killed 35 civilians, almost all of them women, in one of the deadliest...
And before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories one more time. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli defends the government's decision to lease out land at Gokarna, says the offer was lucrative, vows to eliminate irregularities at other places. Dispute intensifies within Nepali Congress following announcement of the date of the party's 14th General Convention. The disgruntled faction rejects the leadership's decision. The United Nations General Assembly approves a resolution strongly condemning rights abuses against Rohingya Muslims and other minority groups in Myanmar. And Chitwan Rhinos clinched the Pokhara Premier League title, defeats Biratnagar Titans by 32 runs in the final to walk away with 2.7 million rupees. And that's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 this morning. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTV HD. Good day.